Okay. Would have done this earlier in the day, but I had a migraine for the first part of the day, and then, oddly enough, after I whacked myself in the head trying to get into the car, uh, it changed from a migraine that was really severe to an ordinary headache that was not quite as severe. Weird. Anyway, here we have Chasing Demons. Cobalt takes on Hell's Cradle. That's weird sounding. Brace for Matthew Foster's journey on becoming Denver's corrupt hero. I gotta say, that tagline or whatever doesn't make any sense to me, but, okay. There's 9 days left. 32 backers. It has reached its $1,000 flexible goal. And slightly surpassed it. $1,024. Chasing Demons. No, nobody is chasing actual demons in this book. Well, that immediately makes it more boring, doesn't it? Instead, the characters involved will be chasing and confronting their own personal demons. That can be just as good or even better depending on how it's done. Story summary. Matthew, in many ways, seeking redemption. That is an incomplete sentence. He wants to move on from his days as a crooked cop, but has had no luck. The community sees him as a criminal. He works at a minimum wage job. His girlfriend's parents hate him. Is that really that weird? And to top it off, he is about to get evicted. Well, the way I understand it, now that the moratorium is ended, a lot of people may be getting evicted. But then, seeing as how an awful lot of those people probably could have gotten a job if they'd really wanted one, and they were just being layabouts and enjoying the fact that, whatever poor sap was renting them a room couldn't throw them out now. Yeah. I have limited sympathy, because it's it's one of those things. It's like, the government decides, oh, we're gonna make this blanket rule and it's gonna affect everybody, and like, we're gonna pretend like, oh, we're just doing it to make sure that those evil big businesses or whatever can't fuck people over. And it's like, no, you're actually fucking over all of the people who are just barely making it by telling them that, oh, how you're renting out this property and you're responsible for all the maintenance and upkeep on it and everything, and you have to pay all those bills. You still have to do that, but now you can't charge them any rent. It's like, fuck you. This is why the government needs to cease to exist, quite frankly. I mean, you always need some minimum level of government, but it needs to be vastly less. Alright, how long will it take for Matthew to finally break and go to a more beneficial life of crime? Is this a trick question? Why this story? I believe in many ways Chasing Demons is different from most things coming out. Anyone could say that, so hopefully you take my word for it. Okay? Since this is a mini-series, we are firing on all cylinders. That means we are holding nothing back. Despite this being a prequel to my Stride miniseries, I'm not familiar with that one offhand, it is also perfect jumping on point for new readers, even if you aren't sold on the story. The art alone by Pradeep Sethi, maybe? I don't know. Will make your purchase worthwhile. Characters. Matthew Foster, a.k.a. Cobalt, is the main character of the comic. He was a character who appeared in Stride. Well, that doesn't help me since I didn't see that, let alone read it. I noticed early on that Matthew had a lot of potential to carry his own story. The city hails him a hero, but the tragic fact is he's conning them all. He fights... Wait, I thought you already said that they saw him as a criminal. He fights crime mainly for his benefit, as he steals drug money and takes out any illegal competition. Denver is better with Cobalt, but the cost is a lie. Maximo, a.k.a. Marrow, whatever, is main antagonist of the story. My goal with him is make him compelling villain. I believe I achieved that. Runs Hell's Cradle. Hell's Cradle is Casino, okay. Maximo will endure family problems. Dealing with Cobalt, Tessa, Flowers, love interest Matthew. This character has no legs. Tessa has known Matthew for a while, accepted his darker side. She's hopeful better side will prevail. Risks. People are understandably nervous about nervous to back a campaign, but I can assure you that this will get done, as I have many campaigns under my belt. I managed to release the entirety of my Stride miniseries, and that was when I had zero experience. I cannot do it alone. I was blessed to have backers support me. I'll need that to finish this book. Whether or not you back the comic, thank you for taking the time to check out the campaign. The team and the art. And some interior art there, and that's it. That's okay. Producer credit plus every perk at $80. One of one. I don't know. I mean the producer credit, I guess. I guess you only have one of those, but I don't know. Wait a minute. Huh? Well, they. Okay. Same thing twice. Oh, that one ships worldwide. This one ships only to America for some reason. Weird. Alright. 2 sold. 1 of 1 sold. Cobalt and Stride Catch-Up. $24. Bundle contains every comic I have created to date. Plenty of content to chew on with this perk. Chasing Demons. Physical copy. Your name in the comic. Sticker. Stride full story. Although Stride full what does that mean? I mean, how many books is that? Is that 1 book? Is it 5 books? You know, something in between? Don't know. It doesn't say. 5 claimed. Estimated shipping October. That's not very far off. Only Stride full story. Just binging. Simply want backing. Just Stride full story. Perfect to you. Stride full story. 0 claimed. Well, you're not telling us how, you know, how long that story is. You're not saying anything about about it. Digital copy, $5. All right. Well, it's sad that there's 0 claimed on this, but it's great to see that they're offering it digital, and it's great to see that they're offering it digital at a fucking reasonable price, $5. It's like that's the kind of price you normally only see outside of CG. Oh, and you still get your name in the comic. Interesting. All right. Chasing Demons physical copy. Wow. No wonder nobody's backing the digital, I guess. Maybe they're adding on the digital if you can do that. But a physical copy for only $7. That's pretty damn good. 21 claimed. And I don't know. I think honestly, I think it'd make, well, I mean, look at that. $7. That's so cheap, but it's like you could do 10 or even 12 or something, and if you included the digital with the physical, that would, seem like that would make more sense. And I'm sure many people would probably point out that the featured tier really ought to be probably this. It really ought to be, a more expensive tier than just that. Alright, so that's the small starting end of things. Get drawn into the comic. 7 of 7 claimed. Wow. You can get drawn. You could. 7 people got drawn into this comic for only $30. It's amazing. But you can't add on to digital. That's not wonderful in my opinion. You should be able to add it on or something. Or it should be included with the tier, and the tier be a little bit more, like I said. Anyway, it's $5 shipping, so that's half the cost of most CG campaigns, and $11 international. That's really cheap for international. And the question is, and I don't know how to find this out because I don't ship things to people or anything. I'm not a creator, but at least not yet. But the thing is, the question here is, did this person make a mistake and you'd think probably not, because this is not his first not his first campaign. So he's already done this before. So if this isn't a mistake, is this an indication that probably anybody, at least anybody who's doing just one book, could probably afford to send it even to international backers for only 10 or 15 bucks instead of charging 20, 25, 30, 35, sometimes even more? You know, for a long time now, I have been seriously, I don't want to say concerned exactly, because, you know, it doesn't really concern me, especially with international backing. But I've wondered for a long time now what the deal is with CG and their shipping rates. Because, I mean, first of all, they're all over the place, but second of all, it's like, it really shouldn't cost, at least domestic, more than about $5 to ship just one book. Even, you know, even if it's well packaged, it shouldn't, you know, really shouldn't cost you much more than, you know, probably about $5. You know, maybe a little bit more, maybe $6 or something, but not 10, and certainly not more than that. And 10 standard with CG, but more than that is not at all uncommon. 5 and 11 on this one as well, and still have no idea how many fucking books that is. And we can't look at the big ones because they're all gone. So let's. Well, it says every perk. I don't know. I mean, this could include every perk as well, and it's still the same. Whatever the hell this is, it says 24, and it's only 5 domestic and 11 international. That's it's really good shipping costs and really good value for money from the sound of it. Although, again, don't know how much there is to the Stride thing. I mean, you know. 4 campaigns. Let's look at his campaigns. Demon Stride, Ascension, Stride, Underworld, Stride, Origin. Okay, so 3 previous campaigns, and all of them are Stride, so I'm going to guess that probably that is an indicator that each of these campaigns represents one book. So the full story is probably either the 3, you know, 1 copy of each of the 3 books, or it's like a trade paperback. But probably not, because probably do a separate campaign if he was trying to finance the printing of a separate trade paperback. So it's probably 3 books. So anyway, that's another one of these really small campaigns that you hardly hear about, but it appears to, unlike larger campaigns, offer you, frankly, better value for money. I mean, you know, you can always say that, well, you know, some of the larger campaigns have really good artists or whatever, and, you know, big name, and so they can, you know, that's what justifies the, you know, paying more for it or whatever. But like I said, it's these little campaigns that actually have, you know, I mean, $7 for a physical copy. I don't know that it says how many pages there are, but even so, it's like, even if it's just, you know, 20-something pages, it's like $7. Shit. That's perfectly reasonable. And, man, I don't know. It like I said, it's sad that that nobody gets to hear about campaigns that, frankly, are worth it. Like, they're offering you, assuming the story is good, which obviously that's the one thing that you never ever know before you get the damn book. But assuming the story is good, it's like you're getting, you know, a lot of these smaller campaigns are getting you, offering you a much better value than the big names tend to, or bigger names, whatever. All right, until the next one.